The conflict in Ukraine has had a significant impact on food prices, and today after Russian missiles hit Ukraine's Black Sea coast, destroying 60,000 tons of grain and damaging storage facilities, wheat prices globally have shot up. The latest development, according to diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams, is that Moscow has withdrawn from an agreement that had guaranteed the safe passage of grain shipments, claiming it now views any vessels traveling to Ukrainian ports as potential military targets. Russia has attacked Ukraine's ports and storage facilities for 3 nights straight. The Black Sea Grain Initiative deal, which Russia has never been thrilled about, is on fire now as a result of the insults and rhetoric. The Black Sea Grain Initiative, which was signed almost exactly a year ago, allowed Ukrainian agricultural exports that had stalled since Russia's full-scale invasion to begin moving again. Russia has never been happy with the grain deal, but after the attacks and the rhetoric, it is going up in flames. In the years since, Ukraine has exported about 33 million metric tons of corn, wheat, and other products to destinations all over the world, including nations with acute hunger, like Sudan, Ethiopia, and Afghanistan. Ships sailed from 3 of Ukraine's Black Sea ports along an agreed-upon corridor to a joint coordination center in Istanbul. Here is what happened to the price of wheat. As you can see, it rose sharply following Russia's invasion of Ukraine last year. After the grain deal was negotiated, prices began to decline. However, as you can see, when Russia announced earlier this week that it was pulling out of the agreement, the price spiked once more. This could result in higher food costs for all of us. There are many other factors that cause global prices to fluctuate, but Ukraine is a major producer in the world. Russia claims that the agreement discriminates against them, and Vladimir Putin says he won't return to the pact unless the world complies with his requests. He wants the world to reconnect Russia's agricultural bank to the global payment system. Russia claims the agreement discriminates against its own agricultural exports, but the West disputes that claim. If the agreement can't be saved, Ukraine will once again need to find other ways to export its grain, but roads and rail are no substitute for ships, and this important lifeline is in jeopardy. John Adams. According to BBC News, Russia is also putting additional limitations on British ambassadors. They must give at least 5 days' notice before traveling more than 75 miles. The announcement came as our Russia reporter Steve Rosenberg was live in Moscow for the UK's criticism of Russia's foreign ministry for backing what it dubbed Ukraine's terrorist operations. The Russians are basically saying that it's fine for British diplomats to travel within Russia, but if you want to go farther than 75 miles away, you must notify the authorities at least 5 working days in advance. You must also provide all the details of your trip, including where you're going, when you're going, how you're going to get there, who you're going to talk to, and where you're staying. Russia alleges that this is retaliation for Britain's hostile acts, that Britain has been creating difficulties for Russian ambassadors, and that Britain has been demonizing Russia. But you should hear some of the anti-British language in the state media here and from Russia officials. I think what irritates Russia the most is that Britain is well ahead in terms of its support for Ukraine, notably military backing for Ukraine. The former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev recently stated that Britain has always been, is now, and always will be Russia's eternal enemy.